Hey, welcome to the channel, Old Guy Inc. Do me a favor, please hit the subscribe button real quick. I'm going to talk everything CrossFit today. That's always on my mind. It's always one of my biggest topics. But today I'm really going to get into CrossFit and trust and all the stuff that is going on lately with standards. I'm going to talk a little bit about morning chalk up, buttery bros. Anyways, a whole bunch of different things. So let's just jump right into it. I saw this Facebook post. I don't know, Morning Chalk Up had something that said, how does CrossFit earn our trust back? And of course, my first thought there was, well, that coming from Morning Chalk Up is kind of funny because Morning Chalk Up does not have my trust. I think that they're completely biased. They just recently had what they call the press conference, in which they specifically excluded many of the CrossFit media members that I like to listen to. A lot of people I know who cover CrossFit have a really big following, tell the truth, and they were excluded. So really their press conference was really more of like just a self-made publicity thing to make sure they could control the narrative and the questions. And so I don't like that. So we're going to talk a little bit about all of the controversy that's been going on lately with movement standards. And when I say lately, actually, this goes back forever. But I mean, holy cow, with CrossFit not willing to take a stand and penalize people for not following clearly defined movement standards. Now, the thing that gets me is probably going to be, hopefully, some of the same things that gets you, which is, we all have, I think, very good intentions, and we all want to hold ourselves to a standard. But man, if you're not going to lie, it's really, really hard in life to toe the line when you see so many other people not and getting rewarded for it. I mean, in some ways, I'd almost have to question, like, dude, how stubborn are you? I mean, if you keep towing the line, but you see that there's really no reason to do it. I mean, nobody's getting penalized for not towing the line. As a matter of fact, people are winning money, like during the CrossFit Open. They're getting publicized and promoted, and their videos are getting shown, and they're getting rewarded for clearly doing the movements incorrectly and without question or debate, not hitting the movement standards. And then here you are in your garage, at your affiliate, and you're running whether it's your workout of the day, or it's a CrossFit Open workout, or an online workout, or a semifinal workout. Whatever you're doing, I mean, if you're anything like me, I've been doing CrossFit since 2007. I've owned multiple affiliates. I still coach to this day. And one of the number one things that we talk about, we get taught, and we teach is movement standards and holding yourself accountable and full range of motion and on and on and on. And it's like, instead of getting better, it's getting worse. And so the question that Morning Chalk Up posed, how does CrossFit get our trust back? I'm like, man, I'm not really sure that CrossFit is the problem. I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to throw it right on the elite athletes. Because here's the deal. Most of us do our best to hold ourselves to a standard. Now, I understand when you're doing a workout and you're trying to move as quickly as you can, you might think you're doing it right. And then all of a sudden somebody puts a videotape on you, you watch that video back and you're embarrassed. And you're like, holy shit, I did not know that I was moving so poorly. And it probably bothers you, and you try to work on it, because we don't want our peers at the gym, if you're at a good gym, thinking that you're not doing things correctly. And so where I'm getting at with that is, I think the biggest problem with these elite CrossFit athletes is they don't give a shit what me and you think. And so why are they willing to post these videos online for everybody to see when they know? I mean, this is not up for debate, okay? I mean, Anybody can look at a lot of these videos from very well-known athletes. Now, let me just do that. I'm going to try my best not to name drop because I don't think it's important. Hopefully, you're educated enough to know that you've seen some videos from household CrossFit names that you're going, ooh, yikes. I mean, that looks pretty bad or just looks plain terrible. And I'm always thinking to myself, what was that person thinking? Like, how are they okay putting this online when they know they're going to get hammered in the comments and all over YouTube and everything else? And then it's like, oh, that's right. Again, they don't care what you and me think. They only care what their peers think, which is what most people care about in life. Most people, to be general, care way more about their circle of friends, their peers, okay, than they do about other random people in the world, which is probably a good thing. But what does that tell you? It tells you something scary. When the athletes at the top of our sport, okay, when the people at the top of CrossFit Inc., who are in charge of the games and movement standards and all that sort of stuff, when all of those people are willing to post videos, what it lets you know is that that circle doesn't care. All of those peers don't care. So, I mean, I'm not going to care if I post a video online. If everybody I know, if I know that they're okay with it, I'm not going to care what people I don't know think about it. And that's just telling the truth. I know there's some people out there, okay, who are all super high and mighty, and that's great. And you're just like, I'm holding myself accountable for my own personal reasons, and I'm doing it this way for me. And I'm like, hey, that's great. That is like, that's totally great. And I do think that's the way it should be. It's not quite that simple when it comes down to competition. If you're in a competition and there's money on the line, there's sponsorships on the line, and you and everybody around you has agreed like, hey, if we all just look the other way in this group of people, we're going to do better. The gym's going to do better. Our team's going to do better. I don't know if I'm losing you here, but what I'm getting at is it's clear that everybody's in on it, okay? Because what you have is you have CrossFit. First of all, you have athletes running these videos when they know they're being videotaped. They have well-known coaches watching them. They know the reps are wrong. They submit the videos anyways. They put in the videos to be criticized and critiqued. CrossFit sees the videos. They supposedly review them. And then CrossFit turns around and posts the video online and says, hey, look at this. These are the best, fittest movers in the world. And so we're sitting around going, that doesn't look right to me. Like, that's not how I ran that workout. Because I printed out the workout description and the movement standards, and I actually tried to follow that shit. Go figure, right? Did I have some no reps? If I posted my video, would people be telling me that I did no reps? There's a good chance. But I didn't do it knowingly, and if I found out about it, I would not be happy that CrossFit was pumping me up on this thing unless all the people around me were like, yeah, Clay, we don't care. It's all good, dude. Like, don't even sweat it. Like, we're all doing it, and it's all good in the hood. So, I don't know. That's kind of what's getting me is I don't see anything really changing, you know. It's just, or, excuse me, what I see changing is that this change is continuing, right? I'm going to jump, boop, tangent, okay? It's like the Buttery Bros. If you haven't seen these two wacky dudes, here's my take on those guys. They started out, and they used to kind of be like grassroots CrossFitters. They started putting out content. I thought it was great. Yeah, it was kind of comical. They were kind of funny. They had a little stick. But they did a lot of good inside, behind the scenes content with athletes. But then as time has kind of progressed, I think what happened is now they've come from this peer group over here to they've gotten themselves so much inside the inner circle that now they're just total sellouts. Like that's it. So, I mean, they don't care. Now they're actually on the bandwagon of trying to talk negatively about other people in the community who are trying to still hold CrossFit and its athletes to a standard. So I think that's important. I think it goes right along with my video the other day about the Whoop. It's like, why was CrossFit promoting the Whoop? Now, like I said, I'm glad that CrossFit and Whoop are no longer partners, but it's interesting how many high-level CrossFit athletes are still supporting the Whoop when anybody who knows anything about heart rate and exercise and physiology knows the Whoop 4.0 in particular does not work. Now, hey, if the Whoop decides to give me a shit ton of money to wear around something that doesn't work, I'm going to do it. So I understand that. But the problem here is we're starting to see a pattern of CrossFit getting very commercialized and all those people at the top deciding that we really only care what we think. We don't really care what everybody else thinks. So what I want to know what you guys think. I want to know if it's driving you nuts like it is me to continually see CrossFit put out standards, then put out videos of people not performing those standards correctly, and then completely disproportionately or unevenly, unequitably distributing penalties at random to some people but not others. And then they hold people to certain standards like, oh, you didn't get your score in time, so you're out. But if you get your score in time and you don't do the workout right, that's okay. So it's more important to get your score in incorrectly. It's more important to post the wrong score with reps that didn't count, put your time in incorrectly, okay? That is not important. Or that is what's important. It's more important to do all that stuff than it is to do things correctly. Okay, so you could do everything correctly, but you miss a deadline, you're out. You do everything incorrectly, you're in. Totally confused. So that's basically it. I think CrossFit has just gotten way out of control. There doesn't seem to be anybody calling the shots, willing to put their foot down. Nobody's willing to just come out and be like, all right, time out. This is out of control. We need a better plan. We've got to move forward trying to fix the problem. Instead, they're working in cohorts with other media groups like Morning Chalk Up. Everybody's trying to bury the problem, move on. Anyway, I don't like it. It's kind of sad to see. I'm not necessarily here to present any answers. I'm just here to complain right now and say, I hope somebody figures something out, because I think it's a little bit of a joke right now. And that's a shame, because like I said, CrossFit is a huge part of my life. I love CrossFit. Do I think all the things going on at high up in CrossFit and the CrossFit Games necessarily is going to affect everything day to day for each one of us in our boxes? Not like I think it's this huge deal, but what I will tell you is people are watching and things like that move down. People who are watching other athletes who are getting praise and reward, moving in a certain way, will start to make people think, well, maybe next time I'm running a workout, I can move a little quicker. I can do that. I mean, clearly it's okay. These athletes and CrossFit are clearly saying this is acceptable because they're showing it to me. So why am I wasting my time trying to do it correctly? I understand my coach here at the gym is telling me to do that, but they really can't tell me why when I'm seeing that it's actually not that important. So there it is. Ramble. CrossFit, I love you, but we got to do better. I'd love to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe and comment.